What's that? Bolaji Ogunseye here. He's our sustainable development expert. Before the break, Nyota, you were going to ask a question.
Yes, we've seen in some of the papers pictures of people that have collected this 5,000 looking quite excited. Some of them actually look like they needed to get this stipend. But is this the best way to alleviate poverty, and actually how sustainable this can be?
Yeah, look, sometimes I feel at some point one's got to empathize with government and try to get into their skin and understand, read their mind literally. There's recession. The economy has been going down even before the official, for me recession has been around for years in this economy, technically. I think the government is throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the problem. You understand? Especially when you have so much criticism and people really are hurting. You know, they are complaining. So the government is throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the problem, okay? But much better if they are doing it in a more institutionally anchored, better thought through way, okay? As they seem to be doing now, haven't refrained from jumping at it last year in the, pressure to sort of fulfill a campaign promise. I think they've gone home. But you're right, straight answer to the question is no. This is not enough to deal with mass poverty and things, because those ones are more deeply structural things. Like fighting, I'll keep talking about it. The government of this country at some point must take the extra trouble. The same way they walk through this and conceptualize and design, they must design a way to fight artificial inflation. Artificial inflation is adding, I don't know, I haven't done the, work the figures, but it's adding quite a lot to driving down purchasing power in the economy. Do you understand? So yeah, there are a lot of structural things they have to deal with. But for now, what I would love to see in this, I think they are designing it well, they are, is they should quickly deploy a lot of implementation monitors to this. I know they'll be careful not to have too much overheads, to deliver this. But they will need a lot of implementation monitors.
Let me bring it.
So that they can learn the lessons as they are going along. So that 1 year from now,
let's bring in Mark then.
It's a good thing you already talk about implementation monitors, and for a lot of people, as Nyota rightly raised the question, it's the sustainability of the program and whether or not, 5,000 Naira is realistic. I mean, when the government made this promise, inflation was not, official inflation rate was not at 18%. Do you think that government should be looking at an increment, and how do you think this will eventually evolve into a social welfare program that, would outlive this government?
See, the problem with social welfare programs is, again, Nigeria has a structural problem with that. And the structural problem is this. We have far fewer people working and earning an income. And if you like, the foundational edifice, construct of our economy is not such as to generate a lot of income earning opportunities. So right now in the system, you have maybe not far fewer, but you have relatively fewer people making money, okay, out there working, producing, adding value, you understand, growing the economy, because it is social welfare, strictly speaking, like the type you have in Europe, North America, everywhere, Asia, is a function of the people who are collecting, who are not putting money in the system because they are old pensioners and things, and people who are so poor, you're below the safety net and everything, is because they are usually a smaller, much smaller percentage of those who are baking the cake. Do you understand? We have fewer people baking the cake in the Nigerian economic system. Now, this is part of the deep structural problems I'm talking about. You've still got to get this country, you've got to get a huge percentage of the working age population, you've got to get them working and earning and therefore spending, okay? Yes, this is by no means what is going to solve that age-old problem. It's not Buhari's problem or Jonathan's problem. We have progressively built our economy in such a way that mass poverty has been increasing in the, at the bottom of the pyramid all along. while some billionaires are appearing everywhere. Okay, but these are going to be, because see, they say 1 million, but actually, if you count the figures with the 75,000 they have under the under the GEP and all sorts of other little things they have, Power Build, Power Knowledge, all this, you're probably looking at about 2 million people who are going to inject some extra purchasing power into the wider economy. Now, they have a duty themselves. I'm sure the economics should be looking at this now. How much, by what factor will this grow the economy? Is it 0.05? Is it 0.2? I think they got to figure that, and preferably they should tell us. You see, it helps to build confidence. Oh, well, you know, the SIP program, because of the number of new people, all those 500,000 teachers, I think they'll be earning how much? 25, 23,000? So they should be able to get their people to run the figures and tell us that we expect this to help growth by 0 point something, 0.5, 1%. I don't think it'll be up to 1%. But this is a good start, okay? So that's something else they need to do. Another thing I think they need to do to deal more with this question of social empowerment, I would say, rather than social welfare. I don't think our economy is strong enough to undertake that kind of process. Like in England, and you can't. You don't have enough people working and making money and being taxed, okay? A lot of even small businesses, the informal sector, is not recorded. We don't know what's going on there. We don't know how much money is moving around that thing. So there are deep structure problems. But for now, I think they have started well. If you look at reacting to recession, the economic collapsing, no oil money, and all of this, right? Now, what I think they need to do to deepen it, to deepen that process, two other things in addition to what they're doing. And I really have to commend them for, you know, putting this in a more institutional garb. One, they should see how this, and I'm being specific now, how this dovetails, okay, blends with some of the, if you like, trends that bring a problem into our socioeconomic employment system. One of that would be, you know, we talk about graduates, but there are more people who come out of our secondary school system who do not progress to tertiary. So, you know, you have enrollment going up on the whole, you have completion, the underlying figures are improving, but the progression, especially from high school education, secondary to tertiary, is still very low. You know, if you look at how many people continue, you know, not just because they don't get JAM, they don't get admission, it's also because, you know, the system is not strong enough to either branch them off to non-degree career paths. We are still pushing everybody through that bottleneck to be graduates and things, and we don't have capacity. So that's one. They should try to, this program, this SIP, they should try to find where it meets with, as those people are coming out of the secondary school system